What's going on, everybody? Tanner with another video. Hope you're all having a great day. And we are going to be answering the question, how do you find profitable influencers that will actually make you money? So right now I am in Tempe, Arizona. I just spoke at a business event, Build Your Empire. My boys Casey Adams and Kieran O'Brien. It's their new company. They just hosted their first event here, like 200 people there. So that was actually my first time speaking, at a public event. So that was pretty awesome. Right now I am with my boy Matthew. I just met him when I got to Arizona like 2 or 3 days ago. So if you don't know already, I'm here with Sebastian Ghirardelli, Thaddeus Strickland, and Hayden Bowles.
You up his last name so hard. It's Georgiou.
So we have like the 4 main like e-commerce influencers. We all met up here on YouTube. I know there's people that make way more money than us with e-commerce, but we are the ones that have the YouTube channel and stuff, so we got invited to come speak at this event because we're young entrepreneurs, so it was awesome. But Matthew's actually homies with Sebastian, and we started talking, and I was just sort of trying to figure out what he does. So first, how old are you? And then I want to know, like, what got you into business? Did you work at McDonald's first, or like sort of what happened?
No, so I don't have a minimum wage job story, but I did want to get into business because my dad was an entrepreneur his whole life, and that's kind of what I grew up seeing. So then when I wanted to make my own money so I didn't have to ask my parents for money anymore, I decided to find ways online to do that. And then I stumbled across Twitter and then eventually Instagram, and then I realized that I could make a bunch of money if I had a following that was interested in seeing whatever I had to put out to them. So I didn't start off with the whole personal branding thing. Everything I did was themed page stuff, but now we're here. So now we're gonna be building a personal brand. And I'm 20 years old. I just turned 20 like 2 weeks ago.
So 20 years old, we're about 2 years apart. And I sort of started out at the same way. Me and Hayden actually, growing theme pages on Instagram. I didn't really do Twitter, but Instagram, that was the thing I was doing, like DIY pages, meme pages, like all of that kind of stuff. And like, I'm sure we probably like talked to each other before, just like through the DMs or something.
Probably, yeah.
And theme pages. It's just like, these theme pages, like, you don't have a personal connection to these people. You don't really actually know them. You just sort of talk like business, not necessarily business, just like theme pages stuff.
Yeah, there's like kind of a community of like the theme page owners and stuff. So like no one really knows. Everyone kind of hides their personals, which is why I didn't have a personal brand for the longest time. But everyone knows each other. Everyone knows each other's pages. So
yeah, that's awesome. And me too. I didn't have a minimum wage job. I mean, I grew up doing, the basic stuff, mowing lawns and all that, but I was sort of on my own. And I was fortunate enough to, figure out how to make money online before I was actually 16 and, not forced, but where your parents would like want you to go get a job and start making money to pay some bills, like your car payment, insurance, food, whatever it is. But this video, we're trying to figure out how to find a profitable influencer on Instagram, okay? Yep. So you've been in the space for a while. You understand sort of how everything works and how shout outs and making money and all that stuff. I know
Hayden there. FaceTime video.
Hayden's FaceTiming me. Yo.
Where you at?
I'm filming a video. So in this video, we're trying to help you determine how to actually find a profitable influencer on Instagram. I'm sure there's no perfect method or secret, just like dropshipping. There's no exact strategy you can use that'll make you $1 million. I'm sure it's the same way with influencers. There's no guaranteed success just because there's so many variables involved. Maybe it's not the influencers that's making you lose money. Maybe it's your ad. Maybe it's your product page. There's so many things involved that actually end up to helping you make money or making you lose money. So Matthew, I want to have your insight sort of on, let's say you're looking for an influencer to sell, this little thing right here. Let's say, hey, this is the most random product. You probably don't want to sell this on an influencer page, but let's just say, or let's just use this, headphones, okay? There's headphones in there. We want to sell it on some kind of influencer page. What are we going to look for in an influencer?
Okay, well, speaking of headphones, so I actually saw on AliExpress like a few months ago those headphones, the knockoff AirPods with like the designer skins or whatever on them were trending for a little bit. So we'll pretend we have some Supreme earbuds. So I'm gonna go onto my phone and I'm gonna look up some different keywords, and we're gonna use keywords like,
you have to screen record.
Oh yeah, I'm goofy. We're gonna go on to Instagram and we're just gonna look up some keywords relating to streetwear and fashion and designer stuff, so that way we can find something that would be fitting for a product like that. So let's do
Gucci.
Okay, Gucci. Let's see. We obviously don't want to use like, we don't want to DM the brand Gucci. That would be a terrible idea. But let's see, Gucci_community. All right, dope. This is perfect. So this is obviously a theme page. It even says like, #1 fan page.
Hype beast, or not hype beast, but like, that kind of lifestyle they're trying to show.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I know the guy that owns that car.
Really?
Max Logan.
Dude, that's so dope. Yeah, this would be a perfect page. So let's say we had some AirPods, fake knockoff AirPods from AliExpress, and we have them with a Gucci skin. So we're gonna message them something like, hey, love your account. Oh God. We have a product we think would do amazing on your page. Could you tell us your 24-hour shout out and swipe up rates? So basically with something like this, our goal is always to get the CPM, or cost per mil, or cost per 1,000 impressions, to under $1.50. So if you're doing that, you have a pretty good chance that you're gonna get enough people seeing your ad to where you should be able to profit. Now, like what Tanner said, that's all gonna depend on what your product is and what your ad actually is, and your product page, of course, and your store. And I mean, there's a million factors that go into it, but a pretty solid guideline to make sure that you're doing well off the bat is to make sure that when you go into the negotiation process with a page like this, you want to make sure that you're going to get a really good rate per 1,000 impressions. So a good way to make sure that you get that right off the bat is, if you're buying story views, you can literally just ask the influencer for screenshots of their stories in the past, see how many views they've gotten in the past, and then do the math yourself. Are you able to get an ad on their story for under $1.50 per 1,000 story views? If you're not, then you probably don't want to run with them unless you can negotiate with them to get it under that. A lot of the people aren't going to be willing to go under that, and a lot of the people are going to say, oh, my page is too good for that. Well, it's you don't cuss, no, right? Anyone who thinks that their page is too good to have under $1.50 per 1,000 views is just wrong, because it doesn't really matter how great your page is. If you're not willing to sell for under $1.50 per 1,000 story views, then people probably aren't going to profit. Now, we are in Q4, so you probably still could profit even over $1.50 per 1,000 story views, but the issue is you want to profit the most amount possible. So I would say always stick with accounts that are going to be willing to give you the best rates possible in the beginning, before you try going up to accounts that are going to cost a little bit more and you're not going to be as sure whether or not you'll be able to profit with them.
Yeah, so I never really thought of it that way, as like the $1.50 per 1,000. I've always looked at it from so many different perspectives. I've never really had a full thing set in stone when negotiating or looking at the pricing. I always like to look, profit margin. How much margin is the product that I'm actually selling? Is it $5? With influencers right now, I've only had experience selling very well with influencers with low ticket items, like under $20. You can make a lot of money with it, but it's a lot easier if you can sell something with a $100 margin through Facebook ads. But as far as like you sliding in the DMs there, I've always done it a different way. I just go so basic. I just slide in, whether it's DM or on Kick, I'm just like, shout out rates, ? Like, that's just always worked the best for me. It's like, as far as like a response rate, just because it's so basic, and like, I see just so many people when they would send me in, why is this person not responding to me? How do I actually buy from an influencer? How do I negotiate, that kind of thing? Like, they always have issues because they DM them. They're like, hey, my name is Tanner. I'm a 17-year-old serial entrepreneur. I just started this drop shipping store. I really want to post an ad on your page. Can I pay you like $20? How much do you charge? Like, they send this long message that has so many questions, so many statements, so many things that the influencer just doesn't care about. These themed influencers, if they sell shout outs, they just want to sell a shout out and make money. It's very simple for them. It's a very simple business model. They have followers. They continue to get followers. They make money by selling shout outs to you, and they just post it, delete it, and then they have cash in their pocket. So it's really just about being efficient with what you're talking about. But how do we know if it's an actual profitable influencer? Like, how am I going to make money? I know there's so many variables, but what would you say are like the two main things you would look for?
Well, first, just can I go back a little to what you were saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So first, to go back to what Tanner was just saying, I think yeah, a lot of them want to be really quick about what they're doing. They want to get straight to the point. They want to get the money in their PayPal and get it over with. But something to remember as well is a lot of these page owners are actually really passionate about their pages. Now, there are guys like me who literally couldn't care less. Like, I own 6 pages of my own, and then I manage hundreds, but I couldn't care less. Like, when it comes to me, I just want to get the business and want to make my money and get over with it. But for a lot of these page owners, they've grown these pages from scratch. They originally grew them as just something that was a hobby and something they were passionate about and something they really liked. So that's why I try not to talk about myself at all or my story. Like, I wouldn't introduce myself saying, hey, this is Matthew, I'm a 20-year-old entrepreneur. But I always do like to kind of butter them up a little with something like, hey, love your page, or hey, love your content. Just like a really quick, just buttering them up. Can't put it any better than that. And then I get right into what are your 24-hour post rates and what are your 24-hour story rates. And then, so back to what you're saying with the, or your question.
Like, 2 things I want to look for a profitable influencer.
Okay, so 2 things you want to look for with a profitable influencer. Number 1 is the niche. Depending on what niche or niche, however you want to say it, depending on what niche you're in, every influencer or all the influencers within the niche are going to charge differently because, one, there's going to be such a big range of engagement rates. So the people who have been around for years and who have a ton of followers are going to have a way worse engagement rate just because they've had so many followers go inactive over time. But that doesn't really matter. I think too many people focus too much on followers and engagement rate. I would say you want to focus a lot more on the likes than anything. So likes is number 1. Like, activity is the number 1 thing. If they're not getting at least 20,000 likes, I would say, unless it's like a really small and dedicated niche like Fortnite, for example, you want to make sure that they're pulling a decent amount of likes. And then with that, obviously, like I said, you want to make sure that whatever you negotiate with them, that rate is going to work out for you. And then the second thing right below that would be the niche. I don't know why I did it backwards originally, but the niche is the second most important thing for finding a profitable influencer, because you have to consider this is Instagram. So depending on what niche you're in, the audiences that follow these pages are going to be really different. So I try to stick with niches that have like 15, 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old audiences. So gaming is a really good one. Another niche that's really good on Instagram that I found to work really well is the female comedy niche. So all the pages that are like kind of meme pages, but more based on girls comedy, just because those followers, those 16, 17, 18-year-old girls are willing to buy stupid cheap items from AliExpress a lot more often. So like rings, bracelets, you know, clothing, whatever it is. I mean, brands like Fashion Nova promote on these pages all the time.
Yeah, so you can reverse it to like just the psychology of, all right, look, let's target boyfriends so they can buy it for their girlfriends, a little stupid bracelet or you know, whatever it is. These very low ticket items that, you know, it doesn't take much you know, perceived value in your marketing to make someone want to buy this product. You know, if you're selling this, you know, for $10, it's not going to be that hard to sell it if you have the right marketing, you know, the content, the product page, all this stuff that goes into it. There's so many variables. There's no exact method, like we said, to finding a profitable influencer, making so much money with it. But what would you say? One last tip for everybody that's trying to make money with influencers.
Oh, okay. All right. One last tip. I have one really good tip. So again, like Tanner said, if you can reverse it and, you know, get the boyfriends to buy the products, that's super great. So I always say it's really, really great, and you're doing a really good job if you're able to get both sides, if you're able to get the bonus points. If you can have either a guy's product and targeting guys, but still involve the girlfriend in the ad, or the opposite way, have a girl's product targeting girls, but still involve the boyfriend in the ad. And what I mean by that is literally having somewhere in your ad copy, whether it's your caption, whether it's in your meme style post, if you do that for your ads, whatever it is, having somewhere in there something along the lines of, oh my god, my boyfriend is the cutest for buying me this, or oh, my girlfriend is the best for getting me this. So stuff like that always works really well. I found that when I implement that with my strategy on Instagram, I ended up increasing my profit margins a lot more, because just the extra 2 or 3 sales per influencer adds up when you're doing 10, 20, 30 influencers a day. So it makes a big difference. It allows you to scale a lot more, allows you to make a lot more money. So that's probably one of the best tips I can give you guys. So, yeah.
Utilize it, guys.
Yeah.
I know a lot of you guys watch these videos, you know, you want to learn stuff, but not a lot of you actually take action and try and utilize this information. You know, whether it's me or Matthew talking, you know, take what we're talking about and actually apply it to your own businesses and your own marketing, because it may work, it may not. You know, everybody has different strategies that work for them. You know, something may work for us too, but it may not work for you. It may work for you. There's no truth, no secret. It's just all about testing, guys.
Yeah. Yep. Testing.
But yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this quick video, and go check out Matthew in the description below. Go subscribe to his channel. He's finally making a YouTube channel. I had to convince him to get him to do it so he could start, you know, putting out some value, because he really puts his main focus on Instagram influencers, and by doing that, that's going to open up a very wide range of an audience. You know, a lot of my followers are probably going to be interested in that, because I don't talk about it as much, because I've been trying to learn Facebook ads as much as possible and teach you guys as much as possible. So go check him out in the link in the description. Go subscribe to him, and he'll have some value up there soon. So if you enjoyed this video, guys, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.
See you.